1 minute to go, and we will start our service. Anyone want to share some news? Anyone? It's got to be Facebook friendly. Facebook friendly. Okay. Oh, Barbara Myers has some news. Barbara.
So if anybody has a special request for a type of bagel they like, let me know, because I'm getting an extra dozen of specials. So just put it in the chat and let me know.
Tomorrow morning is live Torah study with a Zoom component and Shabbat morning service. That's why we're doing 100% Zoom tonight. Ellen.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
I
Shalom.
just wanted to give a special thank you to you and Rob Greenfield and Ted Cooper for a wonderful class.
Thank you.
Just wonderful.
That's part of the reason we're doing this from home. Everyone's too scared to go outside now after that.
It was very informative.
So many things to be careful of. Okay, thank you. That's great. I totally agree. Ellen, Ted put in a lot of work. So thank you to Ted and thank you, Ellen. It is 6 o'clock. How wonderful it is to be all together. We're going to mute everyone except for Cantor and I.
I'm back.
And now we're back. Cantor, take it. What's a good song to sing when everyone's together on Zoom, wherever we are, around the corner, around the world?
Wherever we are, Hine Matov works. We're together virtually, physically, however it is. It's always lovely to see everyone. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
And how wonderful it is to be here with Cantor Elisa Waltzman as we do our Zoom Shabbat, where we're experimenting with kind of as we get to the end of the pandemic, maybe to once a month or every now and then do a Zoom only Shabbat. Tomorrow, if you missed the in-person from tonight, tomorrow morning will be in person for Torah study and for our Shabbat morning service. So we hope you will join us tomorrow morning if you can. So welcome, whether you are around the corner or around the world. It's great to see you. We're going to be joining together to welcome Shabbat. Let's begin with a reading. While we're doing this reading, you can get your candles ready because we'll be saying the blessing in just a moment. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen. And now we turn to one of our favorite Shabbat hymns, the Chadodi, welcoming Shabbat as our beloved.
שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך
And now that we've welcomed Shabbat as a beloved, we have the chance to break out into our little groups and wish each other Shabbat Shalom, check in, say hi, meet old friends, make new friends. So let's take a few minutes and we'll see you back here in the main Zoom in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Everyone's gathering back here. Hey, Jeff Menkes, how you doing?
Whoa.
Hey, Jeff, I saw you had your pup in just a couple minutes ago. What's that, Jeff?
That's Rocky the Wonder Dog.
Rocky the Wonder Dog made an appearance. Well, good Shabbos to Rocky and to Rocky's dad. Did you get to catch up with anyone just now?
Yes, Rennie Barger and Steve and Marion Fink and a couple that weren't live or had sound on, so I couldn't remember their name.
Got it. All right. Well, terrific. Shabbat shalom to you. Let's see. The Corvettes. Sydney, how you doing?
Good. We got to chat with your parents.
Oh, lucky.
I'm so glad they're coming to visit.
Yes, they are. They were going to come right about now, but with Omicron, we pushed it off a couple months, which is a good idea. So they'll make it for early summer.
Yes. Nice. Yes.
We saw Grace and Joan,
and
it's a very nice little session.
Let's check in on Bruce Winters, who seems to be reading a very good book. Hi, Bruce.
Oh, yes. That's the good book.
The good book. All right, well, great to see. Who are you? Oh, Moses. Book about Moses.
I was getting it's Alter. I was getting a head start on this week's Torah portion. But we had a wonderful room. We had Cantor, Linda, and we had Sophia and Debbie Katz and Sandra, and who else did we have? I don't know. We had a wonderful group. We talked about men joining the sisterhood, and I got invited, but they don't know how I sing though. The choir.
We could start a new group, the Men of the Sisterhood.
Right, there we go. Everyone looked great and sounded great, and it's nice to see everyone.
Fantastic. All right. Well, now that we have joined together as a true community online, let's join together in the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu. And now we turn to the Shema as we proclaim God's oneness and the unity of all creation.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Avad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem emet.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, together, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way, inspired by prophets and instructed by sages. Time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא בבא בים בים בם, יא בבא בים בם, יא בבא בים בים בם, יא בבא בים בם. איי 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 יא בבא בים בם, איי 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 יא בבא בים בם. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו ביד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. And our prayer for God to protect us from war, from famine, from anguish, from illness. Hashkivenu.
ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
ושמרו.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
Together we join for the central prayer, the tefillah.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Amen. Friends, we now take a few moments for silent reflection, which will be broken by our quintessential prayer for peace. We know with everything going on in the world how important it is to preserve peace almost at all costs. And we hope that there will be no war. Let's take a few moments of reflection.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בשלום.
Amen. Friends, we've now reached that time in our service when we turn our thoughts and prayers to those in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit. If you'd like to add the names of loved ones to the chat function now, you may do so. We're thinking of those recovering from COVID, the acute illness, the chronic illness, those who are still on the front lines, those awaiting surgery, recovering from surgery, awaiting diagnoses, undergoing chemotherapy and radiotherapy, other kinds of treatments, those suffering from mental illness and addiction and grief. Think of them now as we turn to our prayer for healing.
רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו וניוושע, אל קרוב לכל קורב, אך קרוב ליראיו ישוע.
Now it's time for Kiddush. Those who have wine or grape juice nearby, a Kiddush cup, or any other receptacle. Now's the time to grab it. Marion and Steve clinking the l'chaim. We'll give you guys just a moment to get your wine ready to go. You can see the Roxana Feugelman got her wine. Cantor Ecker, not seeing it yet. Debbie's got some wine. What are we drinking today, Debbie?
I think we have a cab.
Okay,
Cab.
very nice. Okay, Cantor Waltzman.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
Man, l'chaim. That looks good. Yes, indeed. Listening to Cantor Waltzman pray the healing prayer in itself is a salve, a healing act. So
Thank you.
Waltzman. This week's Torah portion is a biggie. Can't hide the fact it's a biggie. Kitisa, golden calf. Moses is up on the mountain having a chat with God, and the people at the foot of the mountain just can't hold it together. They decide to fashion a golden calf. And boy, do they get in trouble. God is not happy with them. Moses smashes the tablets. Moses pleads with God to protect the people and not cast them out. In fact, God ultimately forgives them. But the question remains, precisely what was the sin? What was actually so wrong with fashioning the golden calf? On the one hand, the obvious answer is it's a form of idolatry. And we just heard the Ten Commandments, should not have any idols. Should be no other gods beside me. So it's obvious, yet we know in a short period of time, we're going to hear about the cherubim that are going to be, as it were, the footstool of God in the Mishkan, in the Holy of Holies. So not that different from the golden calf. So there was an interesting answer that I came across this week that I thought I would share with you. And I think it's one that speaks to our own time. And that is that the sin that the people catered to, or that experienced, that led to the building of the golden calf, was the sin of not having enough patience. You see, Moses was up there for 40 days and 40 nights. And that's how long he said he would be up there. But there was a little miscalculation. Did day one count as the first day, or was that day 0? And the people got antsy in their pantsy. They lacked patience. Their patience was tested, and they came back negative. I think we're running out of patience too. We're running out of patience with COVID. Boy, oh boy, are we running out of patience with COVID. But that's not all. Think about the things we used to have patience for that we don't have patience for before. I'm old enough to remember a time where if you wanted to get money out of the bank, cash, you actually had to wait patiently for the bank to be open and walk in and wait patiently in line to go to a teller and get the cash that you needed. You couldn't just go to an ATM 24/7. You couldn't just send the money across through Zelle or one of the other apps that can transfer money immediately. I remember a time where if you wanted to call someone on the phone, you had to ring in such a way that you would give them time to get to the telephone that might not be right next to them or in their pocket. And you would have to listen, and you could tell in their voice whether they were happy or not to hear from you, because they didn't know who was calling. I wonder if we have lost the ability to be as patient as we used to be. Not just with getting chores done, not just with the pandemic, but with each other, with the slow pace of the world striving for improvement, patient with our children, grandchildren, spouses. I wonder what it would take for us to just get a little more patient. After all, the people of Israel needed to wait just another 24 hours, and Moses was going to be back. So on this Shabbat, as we remember that sin, somewhat mysterious, let's focus on trying to be a little more patient with our loved ones, with the world, with strangers, and maybe even with ourselves. Shabbat Shalom. And that brings us to now the Kaddish. We're thinking of those who've died in this season, in years past, as well as those who've just died recently. And if you'd like to add the name of the loved one to the chat function, you may do so now. On this Shabbat, we're in the Shiva mourning period for Gloria DiBaccio, Deanna Mailman. This is the Shloshim period, the 30 days since the passing of Lisa Enfield, Bonnie Irvin, Charlotte Gilbert, Edward Thomas Gramley. And it's the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the deaths of Charlotte Aber, Neshat Bain, Libby Dreyer, Barry Francis, Suek Finkelstein, Dr. Marvin Hyman, Karim Khalili, Pearl Kornheiser, Harriet Cullerman, John Merrill, Ronnie Bush-Ninberg, Murray Schoenfeld, Alan Shavitz, Yosef Shmurak, Bruce Simon, Leo Wank, and Maria Yasvin. We also remember those who've died unnecessarily due to baseless hatred here in Israel and around the world, and those who've died, unfortunately, too many also unnecessarily through COVID. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for an abiding blessing. We turn to the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah. Yalma, Divrach, Yiretev, Yamlich Malchuteh, V'chayachon, V'yomechon, V'chayeh D'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agalau Vizman Kariv Yimru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah, Mevarach, L'olam L'amei Amayah. Yitbarach, V'ishtabach, V'pa'ar, V'tramam, V'tnaseh. V'tadal, V'taleh, V'talal, Shemei D'kud Shabrichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran Be'ama V'imru Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mamav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. And we say, Amen. And before we get to the Motzi and our concluding song, I'm thrilled to call upon our president, David Udis. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. How are you?
Thank God. How are you doing?
Same, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Karen Waltzman, for a wonderful service as always. Thanks for joining us to everyone on Zoom, Facebook, or streaming from our website. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. This weekend, Torah study will be in person in the annex, but also online at 9 a.m. with Rabbi Zilberman. Our Saturday morning Shabbat service at 10:30 a.m. is in the Sonnenschein Family Sanctuary, followed by a delicious Kiddush lunch in the Schuster Family Courtyard. JCal as well as Coffee Chat are not happening this weekend. They are on hiatus until Sunday, March 6th. Coming up, Adult Head has an exciting lineup. Adult Ed presents Wednesday nights, continues Foundations of Judaism at 6 p.m. each week, discussing different topics about Judaism and Jewish life. This week's topic, Core Jewish Values, Part 1. Wednesday with a Rabbi will follow at 7 p.m. with a special check-in with the docs. Are we done yet? Rabbi, are we done yet?
Join us on Wednesday night to find out.
Join us this Tuesday, February 22nd for our next high tea as we enjoy the musical delights of Pacific Symphony violinist and TBY member Marla Joy Washar and our very own Paul Zuhl. For more details, please contact Supen. And there are a number of programs coming up at TBY. Save the date for these. Jewish Movie Night moves to select Sunday evenings beginning Sunday, February 27th, screening the film Bombshell, the Hedy Lamarr story. More details about Jewish Movie Night can be found on the WTBY page of the TBY website. Israeli folk dancing. Superstar David Dasa will join us for an evening filled with Ruach on Friday, March 4th, with TBY youth programming beginning at 4:45 p.m. and dancing following services, and again on Saturday, March 5th for an evening with Adult Ed featuring Israeli Nosh from Blueberry Hill, followed by a historical presentation on Israeli dancing with David Dasa. RSVP for both, please, on our website. WTBY is partnering with United Way of Orange County for Snapshot Homelessness in OC with Attorney McClellan, Community Engagement Manager. Join us on Zoom Monday, March 7th at 7 p.m. For that, to join again, please visit the WTBY page of our website. Purim is upcoming and filled with fun. It always starts with Megillah and martinis, the hybrid experience, and that's Wednesday, March 16th at 7 p.m. Purim Under the Sea Carnival, which is always fun, follows JCal on Sunday, March 20th. More tickets and information are upcoming soon. And lastly, after a 2-year postponement, so maybe we really are done, Bima to Broadway and Beyond, the Canners concert featuring the famous TBY Canners, Grant and Waltzman, with guest artists Canners, Laurie Akers, Mo Glassman, will be held Sunday, March 27th. Invitations and ticket information coming soon. As always, for anything TBY, please visit our website. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you again, Rabbi and Ken.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, David. Lots going on. Miss it in person and online. Just a triple reminder, tomorrow morning Torah study is in person with fabulous bagels. It will also be online, but if you can be there in person, that's awesome. And if you stay for services, you get fed at the end as well with a delicious Shabbat lunch. Thank you, Cantor Waltzman.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Who has arrived safely to his destination. It's time for Challah. So if anyone has a Challah they want to share on the screen, we're about to do Motzi. I can see Roxana has a challah there. Very nice.
Pretty. Very
nice. Let's see. Any other challahs being presented? I think we've lost the art of challah cam a little bit since we've stopped doing the spotlights. But this is just so you know, once in a while we are doing 100% Zoom. Not so much for COVID reasons, but as a way to kind of spice things up and just see the different media and who's interested in coming to our services in different ways. When we do Zoom only, it will coincide with a week where you can come in person Shabbat morning. The next time this will happen will actually be in 2 months, which is the Friday night of Erev Pesach, of Seder night. And we figured people might appreciate being able to come to a brief service online from home, while you can smell your chicken soup and matzah balls, and then go straight into the Seder from there. So this is the last Zoom only for a couple months, God willing, unless there's another variant. And let's say Amotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'te'avot.
B'te'avon.
B'te'avon.
And a closing song, very appropriately, given what's going on in the world. We continue the theme of praying for peace. May peace prevail across the world. We know that war anywhere affects us. We pray that cooler heads will prevail.
עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ויעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ויעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Amen.
Amen.
May we have a peaceful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.